right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox.
And we have a very special guest, Davey from the wonderful Jules.
All the damn vampires.
All the damn vampires. I totally forgot the name. This is I'm already apologizing, Davey. This is the problem. I was so concerned on getting your name right? And I have so many things filled in my head. I'm like, what the hell is the actual name of the project? And I'm like, just space. It's too many words for me to like put in my brain. You know how you have that short-term memory? And you just got to kind of put it in the back there and like you're like, okay, I'm going to use this information in about 3 minutes. And I'm also putting other things in there like Tim Capello, because I was going to make a joke about like how come you never had Tim Capello play sax on any of your songs, which you may or may not have. I just haven't heard any of it yet. Eventually I'm going to take a breath too. Okay. I feel better now.
You know, speaking of Tim Capello, I actually am on a song with Tim, and it's a Sunglasses Kid song that features myself and Tim.
That's amazing. I love that. And I guess that explains why, because I was looking through your library today, and I'm like, there's got to be a Tim Capello song somewhere, and that makes sense. So it's on Sunglasses Kid's album.
Yeah, the song's called Never Ending Dreams. It's like Megan McDuffie, Tim Capello, myself.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, Megan McDuffie's got a new single coming out in a couple of weeks too.
Yeah,
she's going a bit dark now.
Yeah, she is just blazing. I don't know, trails. This girl is amazing. I
Her
love
video game soundtracks. Come on,
yeah,
that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, indeed.
By the way, speaking of Tim Capello, I'm so happy that Gunship's got them all over their new album.
Yes, can we take a 2-minute block here to talk about how good that album is? I'm sure you've heard it, Davey.
Yeah, I've listened to a little bit of it, mostly while I've been touring and stuff. I'll just like throw it on. Those guys they kind of are killing it with the guest appearances and the collaborations they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to the point where I'm like, okay, guys, you got the lead singer from Gem and the Holograms. All right. Oh, look at that. You got, John Carpenter again. And
it's the name dropping.
It's crazy. It really is. But they're always top quality. They always deliver the goods. And I know all your stuff is always top notch too. I mean, I've been actually checking out your repertoire for most of the week. I started digging into some of your older stuff and just love it. I love the work that you've done with Yoda.
Thank you.
I love the collabs you do, and it's just great. I'm so happy to have you on the show. So welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for checking out my stuff. I really appreciate the kind words. I definitely put a lot of thought and work into the production and what I'm actually doing. When I do collabs, there's definitely like deep meaning to it.
Yeah, it definitely shows. We're going to dig into all the wonderfulness that you bring to the table here and everything you contribute to Synthwave. But before we do that, Mr. Jules, we got any quick shout outs we'd like to do before we play our first track?
Right. So, yes, we do have live listeners, and folks, we are live. So if you're on the nightride.fm website, IRC chat, or whether you're popping into the YouTube chats, pop into the chat and say hi, because we love shouting out names. So right off the bat, let's throw a shout out to Neon Samurai over in YouTube.
Ooh.
And Nikki Denon as well in the YouTubes. And if we jump over to IRC, we've got Mr. 3 Dread from Down Under. We got Dave 808 Turner and Hearts and Beta. We'll
the
hear
Aussies
back from
coming.
Hearts and Beta later on.
Absolutely.
We've also got Zephyril and Bingo and our friend Desterian. Slushy's in the chat.
Slushy.
John Stark 04. Entropy is in the chat. Johnny 5 is alive. Kal-El Jagger has just jammed.
Hey, Kal-El.
Jag joined.
Nice.
Jagger joined. And we've also got Sinisis from Spain. We're going to be hearing. Actually, that's a good thing I left that till the end.
Speaking
of, we're going to kick off the show with a track from Sinisis' new album, Orbital, which dropped last Friday. Sinisis hails from Spain, and this track is called New Horizon, the Terra version. You're hearing it right here on Night Ride FM.
Enjoy. And that was Synesis with Terra Version. Terra Version? I can't see
New
it.
Horizons, the Terra version.
Yes. I just am terrible at like labeling things, and like this was a week. We kind of scraped together the show from all the 4 parts of the world. I feel like, we took some from submissions, we took some from artists, we took some from labels, and some of them we had to like relabel and fix the meta tags. And it's like, sometimes when you throw together all these songs, you get a couple song mislabels, I guess. Is that the term? What's a professional term? There's no professional term. Jules, save me. I'm rambling.
Well, you know what? Before we continue, I've got more shout-outs because YouTube exploded.
Oh,
yeah.
the good kind of
shout-outs,
explode, right?
Yeah, to Michelle Dove and Dark Ludus, who's back.
Hey, Dark Ludus.
Kas, K-A-S, he's in the YouTube chats. We've also got Stevie Lee Price, Lord Pigger in the IRC. Over in YouTube, we got Grackle. Caffeinated Chaos.
Grackle. I like that. Grackle is a cool name.
Right.
Reminds me of Crackle, I guess. I don't know. Grackle. It's like Crackle and the Kraken. Isn't that like a dragon or something?
Kraken? Well.
Which show is that?
Greek mythology.
Yeah. Unleash the Kraken, right?
Yeah.
Unleash the Grackle. That kind of has the same tone to it, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is the problem, and I will say, Davey, that sometimes we write down notes, sometimes we don't. I think we have like 2 notes on our note sheet, and we figure we're just gonna kind of explore. Do we?
Yeah.
You must have did some homework.
For those listening, we have Davey Oberlin, aka All the Damn Vampires, on the show with us. Quick question. We're gonna play another song, but quick question, Davey.
Yeah.
All the Damn Vampires is not the only project you're working on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people might have known me better for playing for the band Korn, and right now I play for the band Five Finger Death Punch. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a guitar player. I came up in the metal scene, so I have some heavy music I'm working on the side that's like really cinematic, kind of brutal stuff.
Wait, so you play with Five Finger Death Punch?
Yeah, that's right.
You tour, or are you an actual?
That's the tour he's been.
I'm the live. I guess you could say I'm almost the second vocalist. I do all the like harmonies and doubles, and then I do a little bit of production with the set live. Where you'll hear some of my interludes and music, and then I play a little bit of keyboard as well.
That's
and
insane.
Is that the tour you've been referencing?
Yeah, we've been out with Metallica. We're doing the.
What was that all?
We're doing the world tour with them.
Just Metallica. That's all.
So. We're finishing up our U.S. dates, and then we're off to Europe this summer. So we'll be
probably could
so
fill a few
this is going to
bars
lead
up.
me into a question. What the hell are you doing in synthwave?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
Let's give us the long version. Let's go.
So I started. I was a huge like Depeche Mode fan. I liked a lot of dark wave and new wave, and I had a project called Black Zenith, and it was like a concept project, and it was very dark wave. And then I kind of put that on the back burner. I was touring a lot. Around the time I was joining the band Korn, I started working on music in my hotel rooms, and I was really into like Daft Punk and M83 and a lot of stuff. And my girlfriend at the time got me super into synthwave. She showed me like FM84 and Time Cop 1983, and that's when I realized there was actually like a movement of people doing this stuff with this nostalgic vibe. And I was so stoked because it kind of empowered me a little bit and pushed me forward to put my stuff out. And that's what happened when I put out Saturday Instrumental. Started to get some vocals on it, got Mint to do the vocals on it, and that was received so well that I kind of just went all in on it. The Korn guys all loved it, and they were encouraging me to keep going with it. Our videographer, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, is it? Well, no, go ahead. But I noticed a lot of people come from bands. One of the reasons they kind of enjoy electronic music or synthwave is they can make songs without a band. Right?
Yeah, that's something I've always done. Totally.
And you can kind of just put your own everything into this one little niche project, and it doesn't have to have any outside sources. If it doesn't need to have it. Like, you can, of course, bring in a singer or a guitarist or a saxophone person, but in reality, like, if you want to do the entire thing, self-contained project, that's all you, just going buck wild, you can do that, which I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me because growing up, I played in a lot of metal and hardcore bands, and we always had problems with drummers. Like, drummers would bail out, they'd have issues. It was really hard to find a good, consistent drummer. So learning how to program drums on my own was huge for me, because then I can just accomplish all my songwriting. I'm a writer and a producer first and foremost. I feel like that's where my heart is. So, I put together all these tracks, then I can just pass it around to the guys and be like, learn this, we'll go to practice, we'll let the drummer fill in those parts that need to be more human, the fills and all that, so it's pretty cool. But like synthwave, the cool part about that is you really could go at it, from a solo approach. I have a friend, he's a huge DJ, he goes by the DJ Zed, and he kind of taught me how to produce in Cubase, which is my DAW of choice. And because of that, I apply all those fundamentals to synthwave, and I feel like I get a pretty polished, good sounding mix that I'm happy with. So I spend a lot of time just driving the coast, by the beach, listening to the songs I'm working on and seeing if the vibe matches. And that's kind of what I've been going for. You really hear that in like Pacific Coast Heartbreak. And so I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Korn. Yeah, I feel you guys, because when I joined Korn, it blew my mind because they were my favorite band in high school. So to be able to play with them and tour the world with them was crazy.
Yeah. By the way, so
stuff.
You answered one of my questions I had
even
later.
before he asked it.
God
it's
damn
amazing.
it, DAW. All right, so we know Cubase.
Write that down.
See, I'm keeping a spreadsheet so I know when the DAW wars break out, who's
oh yeah,
outside.
And to be fair, I started on Pro Tools. Pro Tools is still great for live instrumentation recording, but I got off of there because I think the MIDI and programming is so much better on Cubase.
I like the fact that you are from the Pacific Coast and you write seemingly Pacific Coast tracks, and you road test your own tracks by driving down the Pacific Coast. I don't know what it is about that. I just find that so poetic and awesome that you can just do that. You're just basically literally road testing your music and you could just be like, stick your head out the window. You're like, nah, that vibe's not right there yet. And you can like tweak it. And I think
it's very authentic. Like, I will say, if anything, my music's genuine. Like I know there's people from all over the world, and they're making music that would be inspired by like Miami or something, but they've never set foot in Miami, so they can only imagine. So I really try to evoke the emotion of what you're listening to visually as well. So that's a big thing for me in general with songwriting.
Yeah,
you
just
got to be in a car with palm trees flying by.
Yeah, and you can actually put your doll in the car, and then you can just be like, tweaking things on the fly as you're driving down the road. That
me and Zed were joking about that. We're like, the ultimate recording studio would just be in a car, because that's the final mix test. Yeah. You listen in your car.
Bring it up to 90. And then bring the tempo up to like 120, and then you just dial it in.
Am I allowed to answer some of the people in the chat?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, please
do. Dave 808 Turner asked if what instrument I play in Korn. I was actually the live keyboard player in Korn, which was random as all hell, because I've been a guitar player since I was 6. But the thing with Korn is the keyboard is essentially like a guitar and a bass guitar all at once. So everything is playing along to the guitars and the bass and filling in wherever. Like if Brian or Head is doing like a weird lead, I'll take over that rhythm guitar part with like a synth that sounds really dirty and heavy. So it was actually really surprising when they asked me. My first thought was, you guys have keyboard? And then my second thought was like, how am I going to play keyboard live? So I put down the whole thing,
Do you ever use a keytar?
No, we joked about it, like coming out on Blind and just playing the guitar with them. But unfortunately, like I don't think that instrument's taken seriously enough. But it's a really fun instrument. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that one might be a little hard to get over, like going out with the Korn crowd, coming out with a guitar. I mean,
come on,
everything in its place, I guess.
I think they'd go crazy, man. Especially in like South America. I'd just jump, I'd front flip off the stage with it, and they'd catch me and light me on fire or something. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, I tell you what, we're gonna drop another track here, and we're gonna get back into talking with all the damn vampires, and I'm very excited. about that. Jules, what do we have? We have another great track lined up for us as well. What do we have here?
Quick shout out to Rodentine Queen Tika over in the YouTube chat.
Hey, yeah, she's on the Discord. Very good.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a new track by Celeract LA Dreams. I believe it's called Life of the Party. This is the Alex Vichetti remix. Right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Life of the Party by Celeract LA Dreams and Alex Vichetti?
Vichetti, yeah.
Vichetti. I think I got that.
Nice
right.
guy. Alex is super nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very-
From Retro Reverb Records.
Yeah. Good job on that one. I love that entire. It's like I think it's about maybe a 6-song album, and it's got some remixes. It's got some instrumentals. It's pretty good. I really dig Celeract LA Dreams. I just wish it was a shorter name because I usually mess it up when
we gotta have
so many
him on.
syllables.
We haven't had him on yet.
I would love
about the
to
dual name.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's like a combination of two different names, and I feel like, is it like some sort of like Voltron kind of thing where you're just like mashing synthwave projects together and creating this monster?
As far as I know, there's no Celeract only songs. It's just Celeract LA Dreams.
And like LA Dreams is not putting out any hits, I guess. So like you gotta mash them together and make this superpower, I guess.
I love his work with Bunny X.
Yeah. Very. I mean, they also have worked with so many people that it's just, yeah. That's my favorite thing too. Like, I love when artists collab with different people. And I know, Davey, you have collaborated with a lot of awesome people. One of my favorite people in the entire world right now is Yoda, and I just love her.
Her new album is wonderful.
She's like uber talented, and she's just so down to earth. Like she gave me a reading last week on the show, like just because I asked. And
tarot
she was
card
so
reading?
sweet. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Apparently, I'm going to be rich and famous.
Perfect.
I just have to get out of synthwave and start doing something else.
I really enjoyed collaborating with her, and I was super stoked to get one of our songs picked up for Terrifier 2. And that was like really cool for me because I'm a big horror movie fan, and Terrifier, kind of like the whole direction we went with that Yoda EP was a little bit darker, more like, typo negative, kind of like 80s. Goth hidden behind the synthwave. So that was the goal, and to have the director reach out to me was really cool because they kept getting my name dropped to them while they were looking for music, and I was like, yeah, please take it, like put it in the movie. So that was awesome. Really cool.
One thing I gotta admit, just following you on socials and stuff, your networking skills must be right up there.
It is a skill too. It's definitely a skill.
You're like a one-man gunship.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that was always a joke. My friends always would say I know everybody. I've been touring with music since I was 19. Like right when I got out of high school, I met someone. She was in a band called L7, and she kind of took me under her wings. They were huge in the 90s on Warner Brothers, kind of.
I know L7
era. Yeah, so that kind of started my journey, and I would just stay connected with the industry. My father works in the movie industry, so when I wouldn't be doing, jobs I didn't want to do to keep myself fed between touring, I would work on set, and I'd work on TV shows like The Voice and all that, So I've had a very diverse history, but one thing's for sure, I always try to make good connections and genuine connections.
Have you had any of your tracks make it to like TV commercials or?
Yeah, actually, quite a few. I just you guys might have seen that HBO show White Lotus. I did the music for their social media campaign. I did a music video with Dr. Disrespect. I wrote a song for Game Fuel with him. Yeah, so it's a pretty great song. It's actually a really cool synthwave song. I wish we could release it, but because of the Game Fuel ties.
I know there's a couple of Starcadian did one once with him, although he I don't know why, but the vocal version's been ripped, torn down. But
he actually did tell us a story about that. Yeah, he made Dr. Disrespect sound too good. I think that was the argument that he had given us. Because
I love it, man. I love the Doc's vocals. They just crack me up.
Oh yeah, he was like sending me iPhone memos of like these vocal demos he was doing on the song, and he was very like insecure about it. I'm like, first of all, you're not that bad. I'm like, second of all, everything can be corrected and smoothed out in production,
Not only that, he's a character.
You're Dr. Disrespect.
You want to hear that character come out in his singing, right?
Yeah, you want to hear him sing terrible.
I don't expect somebody to sound like. I don't expect him to sound like The Weeknd. I expect him to sound like the Doc.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. A guy, sniping
when
people
he
left
hits some
and right.
high notes and it cracks. I crack.
Oh,
I love it. I love it.
Perfectly. Yeah. He was sending some voice notes like that with the cracks, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. He's a class act.
So normally one of the other questions we like to ask artists is where you got your artist name, but I guess that's kind of evident now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I grew up with some guys that they took the other best reference from Lost Boys. Their name's Death by Stereo.
Of course.
And Ephraim, their singer, is like a longtime friend. So I was always like, man, they really got the best name. And I just thought there's no way All the Damn Vampires doesn't take it. So I was looking at it and I really couldn't find anything. There's like one like punk rock band, but that's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I think with names, as long as you're different genres and you're separated in the world, it's okay. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go for it. That's my favorite movie of all time. I've had a dangly cross-hearing since I was 18 years old, because of that movie. So I was like, I'm just going to embrace it, throw it on everything, and see if it flies. The only problem I have is it's such a long name, so it's cool that you can shorten it to ATDV.
Yeah. I've actually noticed that I've done that a few times, and it does make things.
I don't know. All the Damn Vampires just rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, it really does.
I really do. I got to go back and see that movie because it's been. God, the problem is all these really good 80s movies that were just classics, I really was maybe, 6 or something when I saw these movies, so I never really got to watch any of these things as an adult.
So some, like, there are some that
Some
hold
of
up
them
well,
I don't want to watch
Right.
as an adult.
but there are some I've watched, I've watched them all the time because that's all I do, watch 80s stuff. But all the, like, yeah, Vampires, Lost Boys is something you can watch over and over
Does
again.
that carry over well as an adult?
Oh yeah,
I think it does.
right?
Yeah.
And you can watch it on repeat, literally once a week.
And
You won't get
the girl vampire, who's that? I forget the lead.
Star.
Star.
I don't know her
Yes.
actress name, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
between that movie, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
movies, like-
you just said my second favorite movie,
me too.
Big Trouble
yeah.
in Little China.
Yeah,
Now
I
we
could
need
watch
some
those all week
Aliens is my top movie of all time.
long. Oh
Aliens.
yeah.
Yeah, we need projects after that. I don't think I can think of a single project that is modeled after Aliens or after Big Trouble in Little China. We actually have one of the regulars on our Discord. He goes by Egg Chen, and
Egg
Oh,
Shen.
that's great.
his avatar is of course the guy from
Egg Shen, yeah.
Yeah, you think someone would go low pan first, but
I know,
that's a good one.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's perfect. Super
Really
nice
shaking
guy.
the pillars of heaven.
Yeah.
So Jamie Gertz is the actress name who played Star.
Okay. Yeah, and the dog was Nanook, I think.
Nanook,
and
yeah.
we were at I'm also really close with the Avenged Sevenfold guys, so they were playing in San Diego, and we went out there, and my friend Johnny was with me, so we were hanging with them. We had this big, like, friends and family gathering, and Johnny was kind of drunk, and this guy we just met, I think his name was like Garrett or something, but Johnny was like, "Hey, where did Nanook go?" And he was like convinced that this guy's name was Nanook. And I was sitting there trying to explain to everybody, like, that's the dog's name in Lost Boys. Like, no, I've never heard that name outside of that reference. It's pretty good.
I love it. I want to talk about this next track we're going to play as well, because this is actually my introduction to your music. This is the first video that I've seen, and when I first saw it, I thought that you, meaning the band, was a combination of two girls and this one guy who just hung out on the Ferris wheel playing guitar on the Ferris wheel. And I had no idea that it was just, I guess you were like the sole person in the project who, I guess, obviously brings on other singers or pieces of the puzzle, but it's all you, right? I mean, you put the whole show together, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I got to give Mint credit for just having, some great ideas, and obviously in such an iconic voice. But yeah, for the most part, these are my tracks. I write, record, produce, mix, master, and I'm lucky to collaborate with a lot of incredible singers.
I do want to talk about Saturday because, again, like I said, that's my first introduction, and I was blown away. I love the video. I feel like it's just such a magical video, so well done. And I wrote down notes, which is going to sound corny as hell, but it's like neon. It's a neon-soaked mix. 1 part Say Anything, 2 parts San Junipero, and that's like the vibe I got. Very like dreamy nostalgia. And I think you guys just nailed the aesthetic. Can you tell us a little bit about what went into writing the song, creating the video, and some of the pieces?
But the vocalist is Michelle Bensimon, right?
Yeah, now known as Mint Simon. But
okay.
Yeah, the video. So our videographer for Korn is this guy Sebastian Paquette, and his girlfriend is a very talented director, Ali Roberto. She does a lot for Netflix and stuff. And we were on a day off on a Korn tour. We were in a car ride, and it was myself, Head from Korn, and Sebastian. And I was like, "You guys want to hear this new song I'm working on?" So I played Saturday for him, and Sebastian like wanted to hear it, 6 or 7 times. He had like a tear in his eye. He's like, "This is the greatest song I've ever heard." He's French, so it was a very thick accent.
That explains.
He's like, I want to direct this video. I'm like, "Let's do it." So we finished the tour, got a budget together, and and I gave Ali a lot of freedom to kind of go her way with it. she likes to lean in on a lot of the female themes and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was cool with that. I'm like, let's go. This will be fun. Because my memories growing up were I have 3 sisters. So my oldest sister and all of her like hot friends in high school, like when I was a kid, and I'm just watching them listen to Madonna and get ready to go out. So I wanted to give a little bit of that vibe. Then I wanted to give some homage to like Breakfast Club.
Yes.
You can see at one point when I'm playing that guitar, I have the T-shirt graphic from Big Trouble in Little China on my shirt underneath, and then I've got the Tarman zombie from Return of the Living Dead, which is one of my favorite horror films, on one of my shirts. Just little nods. And then we went to the pier because that's the closest we could get to going to Santa Cruz for the Lost Boys pier.
Love it.
And we let Mint be themselves, and the other actors in the video as well, and just kind of give a little piece of their life and their story to it as well. So I wanted it to just be something for everybody. I always tell everyone, I don't do anything polarizing, nothing political. Like, this music is for literally everybody, and they choose where they take it and how it narrates, whatever's going on in their life. So that was really important to me.
Amen.
Yeah, so I think the video came out really cool. Like, I think there's a lot of magic to it, and I'm something I'm really proud of, and I'm happy that we were able to put it out when we did, because times were like getting pretty bad with the pandemic. So I remember 10 from New Retro Wave. He's like, I think this is what everybody needs right now. So
yeah, absolutely. It
Awesome.
was, in fact, I think I saw it premiere on New Retro Wave.
That's right. Yeah, I basically
just
just handed it over to him. I'm like, please premiere this on the channel. Obviously, it's a great platform, and it's the right people to see it. So
yeah, 10 is just stellar all around. A couple of my takeaways that I really enjoyed. 2 things. One was the I say anything because I got the reference of the John Cusack reference with the radio and the trench coat. And I thought that was amazing how at one point of the video you just like holding up the radio and you got the trench coat, and I'm like, this is like totally on point. The other one is in the Ferris wheel, and I love when they're going up in the Ferris wheel, and then they have the camera just kind of pans, and you're just like sitting there chilling in the Ferris wheel seat, and like that was just my favorite part, because again, the focus wasn't like really on you, it was on the actors and actresses, and just bringing that moment and just making it so amazingly nostalgic. And then I just like how you were just like in these like little parts that just kind of, I think accentuated the video and just kind of made it pop a little bit more,
I appreciate that. That's actually one of my favorite little moments too, because I remember these old like Depeche Mode, even 1975 music videos where like the other members of the band are kind of just like vibing with the music and off in the background, and I'm like, I kind of want to portray that a little bit with myself. So I wanted to have a cameo in it, but it's not about me at that point. It's about the song. And actually, one of the videos we're going to be shooting soon, that's kind of the idea. I'm just kind of out of focus and kind of hidden in the background of shots.
That's the best. You're like cameoing in your own videos. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Well, why don't we go ahead and just give it a spin? What do you think, guys?
I think so.
All right, Jules, you want to set this up?
Hells yeah. 2 quick shout outs. We got our friend Rex Balls in the IRC chat, as well as Ouija. Once again, we are live, so pop in the chats and say hi.
Indeed.
And let's hear this track. This is All the Damn Vampires with Saturday, featuring Mint Ensmon, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Saturday by All the Damn Vampires.
Featuring Mint Simon.
Yeah, very good. I love it. I love that track again. I think it's just such an amazingly done video, and it takes me to a place, I think that's what really good synthwave does, and I think that's really the crux of it. That's the drug. That's the thing that people get really into, is the fact that it takes them to a nostalgic place that they may or not even have experienced in their lives. I've never been on the West Coast. I've never, had that vibe that you put out in that video. But I want to.
We don't live amongst the palm trees.
Right. I'm from New Jersey. But just the fact that it's the ultimate escapism to a time that, I feel like sometimes I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting too metaphysical, but nostalgia, it's a powerful drug. I really do think it's an amazing thing.
I think we can all agree that's the strength of synthwave, right? It's not just the sounds you hear; it's the aesthetics that artists put out.
Yeah, it's invoking a feeling that really came from nowhere. Even if you haven't, a lot of people, they have not even grown up in the 80s, but you hear it all the time. They say, I'm nostalgic for a time that I wasn't even born in.
What's that phrase?
Yeah.
Everything looks rosy, I should say magenta, when you put on nostalgic sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
The past always feels better because it's done with. You're not stressing over it.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can look back at it
forward thinking, what's coming.
Yeah, what's coming? What's happening now?
Yeah, that was a big thing with synthwave for me. It was remembering the combination of music and emotional setting of the movies I grew up with. So being able to give new bits of that was a really big deal, and it was super cool to get that accomplished, and then start, like I said earlier, driving to the coast, and just being oh man, I can see this in a movie right here. You're driving with that heartbreak, and the camera's panning around your side window, and you're just barely holding it together, and the sun's going down, and it's still beautiful, but you're still sad. That was I can't tell you how many songs I worked that imagery into my head with. So maybe I overdid it a little bit, but that's just going to be my thing. I'm gonna
no
go
such
all
thing
in
as
on.
overdoing synthwave.
True.
Gotta go all in.
So we know. Okay, so we got Five Finger Death Punch and Korn and stuff. But for All the Damn Vampires, what are your inspirations? So I guess you just touched on it, right? These old, when we go back to the 80s and in some cases 90s movies and TV. Any artists that are I don't know.
Yeah, is it all movies or is
sound?
it some artists as well? Because you mentioned Depeche Mode a little bit too, right?
Yeah. It's funny. With All the Damn Vampires, I didn't really reach for anybody else. I will say though, there is a Typo Negative influence in almost everything I do. Typo always had these kind of droning synths that were a little bit higher and guitar feedback going on behind things as they built. And if you notice, I've never said this out loud ever, but in most of my tracks I have a kind of an atmospheric synth that's going behind everything, and that's my watermark, so that's a big part coming from Typo Negative. And I listened to a lot of R&B. I liked a lot of hip hop growing up. Dr. Dre, he always kind of had those spooky high synths, and so I apply that a lot as well. So I wouldn't say that any of my inspiration was traditional, but that's kind of always how I've written. I used to be on Metal Blade Records in a band called Dawn of Ashes. I was the guitar player, and we all had stage names. And I actually took a Sade song that I liked the melody in and applied that to a black metal riff, and we put that out. So I always kind of am somewhere else in my head when I'm writing.
Love it. Dennis? Oh.
Do we lose Dennis?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Dennis
we
quickly
are still
fell asleep. Yeah, I think so. Maybe the chat can let us know.
Yeah. Any second now, we'll just catch up. Anyways, so let me go back to we talked about Yoda. We talked about some of your other collabs. what are your favorite collabs so far in the synthwave scene?
Outside of myself,
Yeah.
favorite collabs. I think anything Ollie Ride has done with any other artists, a lot of the FM84 stuff with like Josh on there.
Oh yeah. I just saw Josh play with Time Cop last week in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm bummed I missed him. He messaged me about the LA show, but the LA, I'm close to it, but it's a lot to get up to LA in a time frame that works with everything else that I was doing that day. So unfortunately, I had to miss it. But I did get to see Ollie when he was here. Edward, aka Sunglasses Kid, was in town, so I picked.
That show was like the who's who. Our fellow radio host, Karen Zoe Lee, made it to that show.
Yeah, rub it in, Jules. Rub it.
Oh man, I was just seeing all the photos. Like, god damn.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there.
We had a great time.
You weren't there for that one.
No, I wasn't. I couldn't.
Okay.
It was just I just blown so much money in vacation.
Yeah.
And by the way, this leads me. So I know we're spinning way off topic. But
that's what we do.
Davey, let's talk about Air Canada.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Okay, so I had a 7-hour delay going to Seattle last week and a 4-hour delay coming back on Sunday. I will never fly that airline ever again. God. It is the worst.
I felt so bad because Jules is like, he's always like moving and going to places, and he's constantly coming into the U.S. And I mean, I never leave New Jersey. I feel like I just never do. But he's just constantly like going to Michigan, going to L.A., going all over the place.
Air Canada flies all over the place, right? But when it comes to Torontonians getting out to the West Coast, there's only two airlines, Air Canada and United, and they're part of the same alliance, right? So our choices are slim, because if I want to go anywhere along the East Coast or down to Florida, I've got choices. I got Delta, I got American Airlines, I got WestJet, you name it, right? But God, Air Canada. So I'm glad I saw one of your posts. I saw you felt the same pain, and God.
Oh, it was horrible. So I mean, we were already doing like a pretty intense travel schedule. So basically, I had to leave LAX. If you go to LAX, like that's like one of the outer rings of hell. So I had to go there. I had to fly to Canada, and then I had a layover there to go further into Quebec because we were going to be playing a festival out there. After that, we get on a private plane, fly to New York, and get ready to play the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey the next day. So I'm at the airport, and my flight's getting delayed over and over again. And I'm on the phone with my tour manager, and he's like, look, if this goes sideways, you might have to miss the Quebec show. We just need to make sure you're in New York so that you can be there for the Metallica show, because that like the production's way different. It's way more important. So I'm pretty pissed. I'm like, just send me anyways. Send me on the flight. I'll stay overnight in a hotel, worst case scenario, and then I'll just get on the jet with you guys in the morning. So I fly out there. I land. The layover's way late. I get a text from my buddy that lives in Montreal, and he's like, hey, are you out here by chance? And I'm like, dude, I was like, I just landed, and it looks like I'm going to miss my flight to Quebec. And he's like, oh, that's only 3 hours away. He's like, I'll pick you up and drive you. I was like, what? So he picks me up. We get in the car, and he drives me the whole way. We stay in this
from
really
Montreal to Quebec City.
When you can drive in a car faster than you can fly in a plane.
Yeah.
Air
so
Canada.
It was pretty brutal, but like the hotel was beautiful. I put him up in there for giving me a ride, and totally saved my butt. Like, but he was a friend that I met through the Avenged guys, so we're all mutual friends. And to this day, I'm always like, dude, like you saved the day. Like whatever you need, I got you.
That's incredible. Yeah, it always fascinates me, airlines, and how I feel like I guess what it is, they do so many flights per day, per month, per year, and then sooner or later your number just gets called, and you're just
no. If you're Air Canada, your number's always called. Trust me. So I googled this. They are rated dead last in timeliness. Dead last in North America. So you're guaranteed if you book with Air Canada, you're never going to take off on time. You're never going to land on time. All
right. Well, when I fly up to where do you live, John? Jules?
Toronto.
What's your
trust
name?
Me, there's tons of airlines that'll take you up to Toronto, right? Because you're going north south. It's easy.
Right.
And since you're in the States, flying from Newark or something to the West Coast, you probably got choices like Delta or American Airlines or United.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we get that.
It's only us Canadians. If we want to go west and cross a border,
You guys are screwed.
it's Air Canada.
That's it. That's all you get.
By the way, a quick shout out to Kit.
Hey,
in
it's
the
not
chat,
shit.
and our buddy Craig Packman, all the way from Perth, Australia. Yeah. way early in the morning for our Aussie friends.
I'm just having a moment here. I'm just totally pumped up here because I see this next track lined up in my deck. I was just totally stoked. We spoke to Davey this morning, and of course we asked him if he had any thing coming up, and sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes we'll get a track, but you delivered this amazing track to my inbox, and I am just absolutely honored to play it. Now, we're going to do a little premiere, obviously, of a track that is going to be coming out. I think it's coming out on October 27th, I think.
Yeah, that's
Is
correct.
that correct? So, obviously, like, super early access to this thing. Like, anybody listening to the show right now, this is like a hyper exclusive, just amazing track. I listened to it, and we actually had the collaborative artist that you collabed with on, I think it was in the spring. So you collaborated with Pensacola Mist and also Andy James, which I believe you said was from Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, Andy's the lead guitar player for Five Finger, and he's also just like a guitar virtuoso, probably one of the cleanest guitar players I've ever seen.
Incredible. And I think that Melissa, I believe, is the lead singer for Pensacola Mist. One of the female singers.
By the way, I got to also shout out to Pensacola Mist. Like Von Kaiser, they're one of those synthwave bands that brings more lights than instruments.
Yeah, they're insane. Absolutely
they
insane.
put on a great live show.
They are amazing. I think Melissa is like one of my top 5 favorite female vocalists. I just love her stuff, and this track is just amazing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this track before we give it a spin?
Yeah, absolutely. This track deserves a little backstory. So it's called Carolina Lies, and that comes from this horrible relationship I was with a girl in North Carolina. She was just like the worst narcissistic kind of sociopath I've ever been with, and it messed me up for a while. I made the mistake of seeing her again while I was out on tour, got right back in my head again. It was like something, just, it was brutal. So I started writing this song, and I wrote this extremely sad instrumental. I had these top lines and lyrics, and I just had it sitting for a while. I didn't know what to do with it. And then Melissa and I started talking about collabing, and I'm like, I think I have a track. So she came to the table with this amazing chorus, and they just already fit together so well with my verses, her chorus, and then we blended melodies. Then I was like, this big chunk in the thing I was playing a solo on originally, I'm like, Andy James can play a better solo than me. So I was like, I'd love to throw Andy in on this too, because he's a big synthwave fan. I mean, we're listening to the Midnight in our dressing room while we're warming up, before we play these metal shows. So yeah, we shout out to the Midnight, and Royce is an amazing guitar player as well. But yeah, so that's kind of how this track came to be. That's why it's called Carolina Lies. I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to explain that again, so you heard it here first. And this is one of my favorite tracks I've ever written, so I'm really excited for everyone to hear it.
I'm totally stoked, and once again, honored to be able to play this. Jules, do you want to go ahead and set this track up, my friend?
So, coming out October 27th. This is All the Damn Vampires, featuring Pensacola Mist and Andy James with Carolina Lies, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Carolina Lie by All the Damn Vampires, featuring Pensacola Mist and Andy James. Awesome tune. Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that solo is crazy. Andy like kind of just plays tasteful, like slow, and then at the end he's like, "Oh, okay, let me just do something only like 10% of guitar players can do," and shreds it out.
Right, exactly. But it definitely has all the pieces. So once again, that will be going out on. Is that going out on New Retro Wave, or is that going out on your own Bandcamp?
I'll just be distributing the streaming for that. I'll put it up on my Bandcamp. And then, I don't know, I got to talk to 10. We're shooting a gorgeous video for it, so hopefully he'll premiere it on the New Retro Wave channel.
Sweet.
Oh, we know we will, yeah.
Who typically, when you're working with 10, so who typically does your music videos? Because I know for Ollie and Michael Oakley, you got Brad Kanan from Dynamic Creative, who likes to do a lot of their music videos.
Yeah. I tend to put the content together myself, so... for the Saturday video, I worked with Sebastian and Ali, and they're an awesome team. And for this video, one of my childhood friends since kindergarten, he's a director, and he shoots gorgeous footage. The cameras we're shooting on are like the same stuff you would see in a Christopher Nolan film. So we're going to be just making it visually fit everything you just heard in the best way possible. We have this great actress. She's somewhat well known, and she's tied in now as well. So I think it's going to be something really special. He owes me a favor, so I'm getting it done for close to free.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is like best case scenario.
That's
but
kind.
I mean, we help each other out. He makes films. He's got some films in the independent film circuit, the international film circuit. I'll do music for him and throw that his way. He'll put footage together for me. So I've kind of just always taken the approach of like, I'm not going to wait for anybody. So like, if I want to get something done, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to learn it, or I'm going to have a great connection, and we help each other out. So it's worked out so far.
Yeah, amazing.
Sweet. By the way, quick shout out to Chex, who joined us in the IRC.
Chex!
And to Lutocalypse over in the YouTube.
I love
It took me a while to figure out how to pronounce that one.
Some of the names that come out on our chats is just absolutely brilliant. Just brilliant stuff. They could all be like synthwave projects, really.
Yeah, Lutocalypse is badass. I could see that as like a really good doom metal band too.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But incredible. All right, so we want to I'm not even sure where to go from here. We do want to know what you got cooking, what's in store. Now, is this single, is this going to be part of a larger piece, possibly an EP, possibly an album, something of the sort, or are you just kind of putting them out as they come? There's different philosophies for different release cycles that I know that artists go with.
So I have I have some stuff in the pipeline that are just singles. This, obviously, October 27th, Carolina Lies. I did a collaboration with the John Candy, and basically it's a vocal version of my instrumental track Kiss Me to the Deftones, and John Candy singer is singing on that. It's really cool. It's kind of like a vapor wave, like chill wave track, so that'll be coming out once I lock that in. I do have a really big collaboration with like a huge artist. I can't talk about it yet because the release cycle isn't locked in yet and the press and all that, but that's going to be a really big one for me. It's probably the biggest artist I've ever collaborated with.
Taylor Swift, right?
Yes. Who told you? We signed an NDA. No, but yeah, that's going to be huge. I'm really excited for that one. The track is super cool, and the artists themselves aren't known for being in synthwave, so I think that's gonna meld the two worlds together really nicely.
I always say, by the way, I would say collabs. It's always great when you do something like that, because then you got fans from one genre and fans from the other that are introduced to the other artist, and boom.
Yeah. That's what happened with Sumerian Records. I did the Black Veil Brides remix, Lilith Czar, and Meg Myers, and none of those artists are known for synthwave, but now they have these really cool synthwave tracks, and I'm super proud of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm always of that school. Like, I don't understand why people get mad when a lot of these artists try out synthwave and bring more people into the genre. I think it's really amazing, especially like collabs. I think that's like the most greatest marriage you can have, because you're actually bringing the audience over to a completely new experience, and vice versa. Like,
Yeah.
I've listened to more death metal because Caspro did this one project where he took all these death metal tracks and made them into synthwave. I'm like, wow, this is really wicked. So I started listening to some death metal albums, and I was like just totally in it. And I think that's really cool that you can just kind of stir the pot like that.
Yeah, just the other day I got into country music because, no, I'm kidding.
Because I listened to Von Kaiser.
I will say I garnered a new appreciation for country music working on The Voice. I kind of day-to-day managed the contestants. We had a lot of these amazing country artists come through with their families. They were not only the nicest people, but when you're in like a closed room, we filmed on Universal Studios backlot, so I'd be in their vocal rehearsals with them and their vocal coach. And it might be raining outside, it's nighttime. We've done like a 14-hour day on set, and they're singing these like heartfelt country songs a cappella, and it's like this magic was just in the air. I have a couple like voice notes I snuck because the song was so good. I'm like, I always want to remember this, So that made me appreciate country from a different light, but it's got to be, it's got to make sense. Like I'm all about.
It's meant for acoustic, right? So it's best to hear it in that sort of context.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Definitely, I think that's where it translated to me the best. Mm-hmm. I definitely listen to everything. I'm just a fan of good songwriting. If a song is good, I don't care what it is. I'll give it credit and I'll appreciate it.
Wait, are you saying there's something besides synthwave?
I mean, sometimes. Not today. Not today, though.
Man. No. Speaking of good songwriters, one of my favorite people in the world, Elevate the Sky.
Wait, hold up.
And what's
Dennis,
that? Who?
We skipped a song.
Did we what?
Yeah.
Did I mess up again?
Yeah, we skipped the.
We did. You know what? We did.
What? I'm looking at the script here. I'm like, wow.
See, I wanted to keep Davey on as long as possible, so I was gonna kind of just sort of like put that all the way in the back and just kind of work up to it. You messed up my flow, Jules. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did. You know what it was? I was actually more excited to play the premiere, and I just got ahead of myself. But we do have another song. We have a song, obviously, by Elevate the Sky, which is another great song. But we do want to play this one as well. This is actually your newest, latest, and greatest track that we are going to play. This is Moments and Memories. At least on the Spotify, that's like the first most recent song that I've seen on that particular platform. Well, I listen to it on Spotify just because sometimes I like to set it and forget it. You know what I mean? That's why I do that. But obviously, Bandcamp is always a huge place to go to really get the music and support the artists and everything like that. So I kind of mix it around. But Moments and Memories, can you tell us a little bit about that, the inspiration, and just your direction in songwriting and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so Ryan Rose is actually one of my best friends, and any chance to collaborate I take. When I start touring with All the Damn Vampires and doing live shows, Ryan will be there performing some of these songs. But basically the song is about, when you just picture yourself going through a breakup. Maybe if you drink, you're out at the bars, you're kind of just trying to kill the pain, distract yourself, so you're surrounded by strangers. But every moment of that is that aching feeling of like, nah, I'm still not over it. I got to get sick to my stomach again, go home and relive all this. So that's kind of the imagery that Ryan developed with those lyrics and where he was going with that. I think he was actually going through a breakup during that time, and I think you guys are starting to see a theme with a lot of All the Damn Vampires music. A lot of heartbreak and nostalgia. But
it's the greatest inspiration for music.
Yeah, heartbreak makes the best songs because not everybody can relate to being very, very happy, but everyone can relate to being heartbroken at some point or another. So that's what Moments and Memories is all about.
That's amazing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and drop this one. Jules, you want to set this one up, my friend?
Sure. This is the latest single, currently available on all streaming services and Bandcamp from All the Damn Vampires. This is Moments and Memories, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Moments and Memories by All the Damn Vampire. I just like saying that. It's just like a great quote. It's one of the best movie quotes, I think, of all.
By the way, Davey, that was Ryan Rose on the vocals, right?
Yeah, that's right.
He's done other things for you as well.
Yeah, he's on my track Breaking Up, which was one of my earliest vocal tracks, and Escape to the Night with Mint. They both sing on that together. That song always kills me because I love it, but I was nowhere near where I'm at now with my mixing and production. So I always listen to it. I'm like, man, I want to reproduce that and put it back out. So I might do that.
There you go.
I also noticed, like, I was just checking out Ryan Rose's Instagram. I was already following him. I didn't realize that, but he's got a post where he's like singing along with Dream Kid on one of Dream Kid's posts.
I love it.
Yeah, you know, I was like telling Ryan, I'm like, man, we have all these friends that are putting up these great instrumentals, and you need to. He's very shy. I'm like, you got to put yourself out there, man. You just have this like powerhouse voice. He used to train with the guy that vocally trained like Eddie Van Halen and all those guys. Yeah, so I told him to start doing those things. So he did something with Sunglasses Kid, Dream Kid. So fun. You're just trying to get him to put himself out there a little bit more. But we're going to be doing a lot more together. I've got like 5 tracks that are unreleased with him on them right now that I'm producing.
Yeah, I dig that track. It's very the vocals are just powerful on that.
Thank you.
By the way, behind the song, we were chatting, right? And I was saying, your logo, it's.
You dropped the reference that nobody knew what the hell you were talking about.
Okay,
we had to hit Google, and
I don't know if
finally
you had seen, if you live in London, or I don't know if you had gone to visit London to see Ollie Ride perform or something, you probably went through St. Pancras Station, and there's a giant magenta neon sign in the train station in London at St. Pancras Station, and it says, "I want my time with you." And your logo just, I mean, when I saw that sign, I was there to see Ollie Ride perform on a quick weekend. It was also the premiere of Rise of the Synths documentary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And also the guys who did the Carpenter Brute Turbo Killer video, they were premiering their little short film, the one with all the boobs in it.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyways, so that was a whirlwind 3 days in London for me, and all I remember is that damn sign. I want my time with you. It was I was like, okay, that's got to be a name of a synthwave artist, like just advertising in the train station.
Yeah.
But no, it's a piece of art, and I was just saying that your logo, All the Damn Vampires.
Yeah.
Just the color of the font, the style of the font, almost identical. But then you brought up the Midnight.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It is very reminiscent to the Midnight, and I think that's really cool because you guys really have a similar vibe, really, with your strong songwriting skills. You guys lean into more vocal tracks, and I think that, it obviously, if you're a fan of X, you're going to be a fan of Y, and I think that's what's really cool. Like, I know Von Kaiser even for a while, because they also have a very good, strong songwriting and just the aesthetics and the vibe and everything like that. So you know what you're going to get, and I think it's really cool. It helps people identify the things that they're into, and I think it's pretty cool. Where did the idea of the logo come from? Was it also inspired by the Midnight?
Yeah, I mean, you really nailed it. I feel like it's important that, if somebody was just looking at like the icons or the suggestions on Spotify, if they visually see something similar to what they're already going for, because synthwave is kind of, you kind of have to search it out. And I'm a big fan of the Midnight with the way they do things, because I feel we're similar in the sense that we are creating these vocal forward tracks as opposed to starting with instrumentals and adding. So I wanted people to kind of get a glimpse of that a little bit and know, like, if you like the Midnight, you click on this, you might like this as well because they're similar. So that was really important to me. And then there's just a vibe when you have these kind of neon cursive names on top of this imagery with the palm trees and the pinks and the purples that synthwave are known for. Yeah. So it was really important to me that, like, nobody was second guessing what they were about to look at and listen to.
I gotta say, thank God you said that, because I don't know how many times we see in the scene, it happens every like 3 months, somebody says something derogatory or oh, nobody's original with the logos and the coloring, and I'm sick of the palm trees and blah blah blah. And you hit it on the nail. This is a niche genre,
Right.
and Spotify, there are billions of songs on Spotify, and having the graphics, the aesthetic, to kind of represent what the listener is about to find helps. That's my opinion. I believe
Totally.
that. If you're making synthwave music, embrace the synthwave aesthetic. Then these naysayers who say, "Oh, there's too much of that, too many clones," like go stuff it, because
Right.
it's you're not going to see a death metal band with neon pink logo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Rarely.
Could we do synthwave bands and like make them like they do the metal insignias with all the like
metal.
squiggly
that
lines?
text you can barely read.
Oh my God. Could we do
Branches.
Droid Bishop with just
Well, I
like
mean,
all
there are-
these
there are
spiders
dark synth-
everywhere?
There are dark synth bands who embrace that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
I did a couple like chest logos like that for fun, just to do some like merch,
Mhm.
and it came out pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's really. I don't want to make it harder. Like honestly, I'm totally independent with this, regardless of the bigger bands I've been associated with, and to get to the point where I'm very proud that I probably have about 100,000 monthly listeners on all platforms combined, and that took just fully dedicating to it and just putting things out and being consistent with it. And if I was to make my logo, like you said, black metal, how confused would people be? I'd be getting the wrong audience clicking in and then clicking out
You're like,
immediately.
what is this shit? I can't hang with this. Palm trees.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with all that stuff. Most of the shirts I own are like black metal, like hardcore death metal shirts. I love the merch design for those types of bands, and I think they can be applied in cool ways. But it was important for me people to be able to identify something similar in this.
You're telling us a story about Tyler as well.
Oh, actually, no. So it's not Tyler. It's Royce, the guitar player for the Midnight, and we had the craziest first time meeting. So there's some bars in the Los Angeles Valley. They'll have like Jenga, so you have something to do while you're playing. Well, this one bar in particular, people would write people's phone numbers on these Jenga pieces and like prank people using that. So I get this text one day. It's a picture of a Jenga piece with my number on it, and all the text says, "How much to change the number?" And I was like, "How much do you want?" And he's like, $10. And then I was like, "No problem, man. Like, what can I give you?" And then he's like, "I'm just kidding. You don't have to pay me anything. What do you want me to change the number to?" So I had him change it to my other buddy, because we're always pranking each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so I totally forgot about it. Then I go to this pool party that the directors of my Saturday video were hosting, and I'm meeting all these people. Then I get introduced to these. I think there were a couple, and one of them was Royce, who's now playing guitar for the Midnight, and we connected because they played the Saturday video. He's like, "Dude, this is awesome! Like, I heard of this. I think from Tyler," and we were chatting a bit. And then I was like, "Hey, man, let's stay in touch. Let's grab lunch or something." So we go to exchange numbers, and I go to text him to be like, "Davey, you can save my number." And as soon as I pull that number up, the conversation with the Jenga piece pops up, like as I input it, and I'm like, "Dude, you're the guy! Like you're the Jenga piece guy." I could not believe it. We were both just like blown away that we'd already talked, and in that particular occasion. So it was like one of the craziest coincidences ever.
And he turned out to be a good guy because he didn't even want to talk numbers. He just
Exactly.
offered it up.
I know. Could
at
you
a
imagine
goodwill.
if he had been rude and I pulled that up? I'm like,
he was the guy that was
"Alright,
like, $100. Like,
Yeah,
you're like,
I'm like,
oh, you're that
what's
guy.
up now?" Oh, he would have been giving me back that 100. That
What's
night,
up,
that's for
$100 Jenga guy? Oh,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like it's always amazing. I find that people do run into people in the oddest of places, and they say the word and the phrase "small world," but I mean, in certain places, in certain circles, it really is. It's
Well, apparently
crazy.
with Mr. Oberlin, it's a really, really small circle.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I've gotten out of like a tour bus in Japan, and somebody I knew from high school was outside. And, like this stuff happens constantly.
It's
Oh my.
it's just bonkers. It really is.
Now, you know what? You mentioned L.A. So, Dennis, here's our
L.A. and a Segway.
segue. All right. So, we're going to play another song by Elevate the Sky. But when we come back, we'll talk about your socials and stuff, and then we'll let you go if you like.
Or you can hang. We can talk about a little bit more.
You can go, whatever.
Play some more rad synthwave. But yeah, speaking of LA, amazing artist, Elevate the Sky, one of the nicest people in the world, Scott. And also, I saw Michael Oakley's name attached to this song as well. Is that true?
Yeah.
Jules?
So this single was released earlier in the year, and if you remember well, there was a music video where he featured all of us.
That's right.
Singing the
That's
lyrics.
right.
To this.
I'm on this song
Yes, you are.
somehow.
You're in the video. Yeah, I think a lot of people from the synth scene are in the chorus.
I totally
So you're
forgot
getting
about
your
that.
royalties.
Yeah,
Because this was like
right?
3 years ago or something. It's like Scott, like 3 or 4 years ago. It was like during the pandemic.
He's slow and methodical.
Yeah,
But
he's definitely he takes his time.
Gotta say,
good.
there's a couple other tracks on this album. Korn is featured in another track, and there's a quick little instrumental on here with my vocals on it.
What?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you were playing the spoons
So-
or something.
You're
You're actually singing over
You know
it,
the
that's
movie
great.
Miracle Mile?
Yeah.
So Scott had me quote or redo like the phone call he has. So
Look at you.
Yeah, but anyways, let's
and
kick
shake.
into this song.
Let's
Elevate
do
the
it.
Sky last Friday dropped his latest album, Dreaming in Color, and of course you've got artists like These Last Words, Michael Oakley on there. Heartbeats in Stereo.
Yeah.
Who else? Well, some of us are in there. But this track, this single came out earlier in the year. It's on the album, and it is the epitome of synthwave, I think.
Yeah.
Just uplifting.
It's such a vibe.
Watch the music. I'm gonna find a link to the music video, so folks who don't know about it already, watch the music video. You can see a whole bunch of us just singing along. So here it is. This is Elevate the Sky with Michael Oakley, and the track is called We Are the Dreamers, right here on Night Ride FM.
Arcade nights, escape was our reality. Summer dreaming at the mall, we found our destiny.
And
It's
that
okay.
was We Are the Dreamers by Elevate the Sky. And yes, amazing
By the way,
stuff.
Dennis, I was on the YouTube. I'm
Yes.
looking at the credits,
Yes.
and I really had no idea how many people were in this music video. There's Andy Lass in there. There's Nina.
It's
There's
Wow.
Oceanside 85. There's Jesus. Who else? Street Cleaners in there. Thought Beings are in there. Von Kaiser, Windsurfer, Yoda's in there.
I love Thought Beings.
Thought Beans
Oh.
is another one of my favorites. I think
Yeah.
they're so prolific, but also like they know their genre. They really
Right.
know their strengths, and they always go for that I want to say late '90s kind of like R&B
Like the
vibey kind of.
some future funk disco, Euro.
But
It's a mashup of.
but they go all over the place too. Like they did like a
Yeah.
Parliament Funkadelic kind of thing, and
They even had like a personal Jesus type track. Like I want to say that song Hazy is the closest thing to modern day Tears for Fears I've ever heard. Like
Yeah.
I was blown
I
away
agree.
when I heard it. It's so well done.
we actually put them on our list of top 10 artists for, I forget what year we did. We did it for 2 years in a row, and then we just lost the groove. But
Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, it was them, Starcadian, or Droid Bishop.
yeah,
Oh,
and
I met
Yoda
Jared Bishop.
and
He was
Yes,
at Ollie's show.
Yes, I heard Droid Bishop was there. James.
Yeah.
James is
James.
great.
Yeah, he's
Everybody
super
was
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, I've met him once when he visited Toronto, but
Yeah,
damn,
he's
he's
a good
talent
guy.
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. We were all hanging out, and at one point, you kind of just deduce that somebody that you're talking to is also doing synthwave or something. And someone was like, "Oh yeah, he does Droid Bishop," and I was like, I know you because that's like one of the coolest names ever. Like,
Aliens, baby.
Yeah.
But he's also the master of the ARP.
Yep.
That guy.
oh really?
Veggie, his guitars, his synths.
yeah.
Nobody ARPs like him.
And you know what? I was I was absolutely out of my mind when I said that there was no references in Aliens. And there it is, Droid Bishop.
Yeah, Droid
is
Bishop.
Yeah,
absolutely a throwback
Lance Reddick.
to the movie Aliens.
He's got some amazing albums.
Yeah,
That boy's good.
that boy is good. Yeah, he is just so many talents and just so many awesome people. I just love it. I think we're just in a big flourishing bubble. Like everyone says that there's nothing new coming out, and it's okay that if people want to move on to other genres and stuff like that, like just keep me in my little zone. I think there's plenty of diversity going on. I think people are also continuing the tradition of your 4 on a floor outrun, and for the people that are really into outrun, like that stuff that just never dies. Like there's constantly
Here's
stuff
the funny
coming
thing.
out.
I'll go. Those people who like to bitch about things not changing in synth. I think it's because they just don't have enough time to keep up with all the new releases
That's
that
true.
drop and all the new artists. Because you've
I
got
agree.
people who discover synth, but they come from other musical backgrounds. They discovered synth, and so they bring their own sounds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure, some of it will move a little bit to the next decade, like the 90s. Synthwave is, if you ask me, has always been a bit of early 90s because, you listen to some of the French artists who originally started this, and there's a lot of early 90s dance to
Right.
their synthwave, right? So, but then you got people who, so they bitch about synthwave not changing because they're not finding the new songs and the new artists. And then you've got people who bitch about an artist who actually changes their style.
And then
So
they get mad
for-
at them for changing their
Yeah,
style.
oh my god, you've left synthwave. It's like, okay, well, if the Midnight leaves synthwave, I can rattle off another 20 artists that sound like the Midnight if that's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I think there's plenty
people
of
who bitch-
diversity. There's
People who bitch need to shut up.
Yeah, I think that's a TLDR. Stop bitching about life. Speaking of another amazing style of synthwave that I just can't get enough of is synthwave mixed with fusion jazz. Jules, do you know a little bit about a little album called Live at Mr. Fusion's by any chance?
Yeah, do tell me about this.
So, in fact, I'm going to tell Davey here because I'm not sure if he knows, but we do have a charity album that we are doing right now. And the premise is we have this fictitious jazz bar underneath our fictitious studio that doesn't have a dog barking in it, that is completely made up, but it's this fusion jazz bar. We bring people in from everywhere. Everyone comes and gathers and has just the most wonderful time. We have wonderful live performances every night of the week, and it's just a cool vibe. It's called Mr. Fusion. We named it after the Joy Bishop song Mr. Fusion, and I think it's just a really cool concept. This is a concept album that we put out. It's going out to charity. 100% of the proceeds are going to the Trevor Project, which is an LGBTQ charity. The Trevor Project is a huge, one of the number one LGBT charities going right now. Right now, we have almost $300 raised for the cause, which isn't a lot of money, but I guess every dollar helps. You can go to Bandcamp right now. You can order this album, and it has, I think, 7 just outstanding tracks by all kinds of great artists, and it's more or less like we tried to make it sound like a live performance was going on, and we were there to capture the live performance. So it's like one of those old jazz albums, like live at Birdland or something like that. So we mixed in like little audience sound effects and clinking of glasses and applause and everything like that, just to kind of give it that flavor. One of the tracks we're going to play right here is one of my favorite tracks off the album. And if you want to buy just this amazing track, just for this track alone, we have Thought Beings on the album as well. They do just an amazing, just a jazzy mixed with synthwave. We have 2D Cat, which I think he's from the West Coast too, right? Jules? Yeah. San Diego?
Yeah.
San Francisco?
LA or Washington.
Okay.
I could never get it right.
It's like either LA or Washington. Yeah. Washington State.
Yes.
Not DC. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like that's two different opposite ends of the U.S.
You'd have to take Air Canada to get to one.
Yeah. So, all right, this is just an amazing track. This is one of my favorite tracks off the album. Go buy the album, get some money for charity. It is all going to the Trevor Project. We are so excited to put this out. This is a State of Synth project, so you can go out and pledge some money and do good things. This is Rising Sun by Chill Collins from the Live at Mr. Fusion album right here on Night Ride FM. Once again, that was Rising Sun with Chill Collins from the Live at Mr. Fusion album. And yeah, actually, during the performance there, we were talking about how you can check out the state of synth. I think it's worth mentioning on the air. Jules, how can they check out the state of synth if they don't hear it live? What's the best way? What's your favorite way?
Well, so if you are on the nightride.fm website, there's a little tab called Archive. And if you go there, you can find all the MP3s of all the radio hosts and shows like us. You can find all the MP3s and just play it back.
And that's all. That's just a straight MP3. You can just download.
MP3, you can download it too. If I can put a link to the archives FTP site in your browser, and you can download the MP3s. You can also find us on Spotify.
Yeah. What if I'm not a nerd like that, Jules? What if I really want to just
we have
go
someone
somewhere?
like you who's feeding our show up to Spotify and I don't know where else, Dennis. You've got it going.
I think it's going to a little place called Deezer. Is Deezer around anymore? I don't even know. But we're on Deezer. We're on Deezer. I can't even say it. I think they're defunct. TuneIn. I think TuneIn has a podcast. Of course, Spotify, Apple, Tunes. Go on and give us a review too if you don't hate us. Don't give us a bad review. We don't want bad reviews. But if you like our show, we could definitely use all the... we're on Amazon Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify Podcasts. We
got all the best artists. Like, case in point.
Yeah.
Mr. Vampires right here.
Absolutely.
I'm going 5 stars. 5-star review.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, and Dennis, most importantly, folks can also find our episodes on thestateofsynth.com.
Yeah, I mean, just go right to the source, and there's a little play link there, and if you just want to play it right off the website, you can do that as well. And I think it's great. Now, speaking of getting a hold of things, how can people get a hold of All the Damn Vampires?
I try to be as active as I can on the Instagram, All the Damn Vampires official. There is a person who has just All the Damn Vampires, and I've reached out to her, but she's not been responsive. So I'm just going with All the Damn Vampires official. Sometimes the messages get sent to that request folder, but I always look for that notification, check them, and I try to interact. I also have my personal Instagram, Davey Oberlin. You can try me there, but I do get a flood of bizarre messages in my requests and stuff, so I miss a lot. And then we have our YouTube channel, our Bandcamp. If you can't find All the Damn Vampires on first search, add official at the end, and you'll see it there.
And on Twitter, I refuse to use a new name. You're Davey Oberlin.
Yeah, Twitter is just Davey Oberlin. I cannot find the desire in my body or mind to use Twitter as much as everybody else, so I just use that account for everything All the Damn Vampires related.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
Reach out and touch someone.
Quick shout out before we say bye-bye to Mr. Vampires. I just want to shout out to The Last Starfighter who joined us in IRC. And
great movie.
Great movie. And over on YouTube, Knight Rider 87 has jumped in.
Hey!
I got to hang with them last week.
Nice.
In both concerts and Ollie's pre-party on the rooftop, user's rooftop.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look at you.
Shoulders with
Wheeling and chiming and dealing and rhyming.
Yeah, I got my selfie with Ollie again.
Look at you, man. I'm going to see Ollie tomorrow, as a matter of fact, which brings us into our next segment coming up. We're going to talk about a little tour and event, but
first, let's thank Mr. Vampires. Davey, it was an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. It was an honor to be on the show. This was great. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys and your community, and thanks for premiering Carolina Lies out on October 27th.
Yeah.
And
go
thanks
by
for your
that.
time too. It was almost 2 hours of your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Really appreciate it.
Let's do it again.
Oh,
absolutely.
Well, good luck on your future endeavors. And October 27th, your new single drops. We'll make sure to remind everyone.
Go buy it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jules. Very good. Davey, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take it easy. I'll talk to you all soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mr. Jules, what do we have?
Oh, so you mentioned, we got some, just rattle off some live shows, because...
Yeah.
So, Ollie Ride is finishing off his North America tour.
Indeed.
In Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
When's that? Tomorrow night?
Let me tell you, Jules, I'm going to be going to see Ollie Ride tomorrow in Brooklyn.
And you're going to be hanging out with?
I'm going to be hanging around with, I can't say. Secret. It's a secret friend. I have a secret friend. I'm actually going out with my best friend. I'm going to be meeting a bunch of people up there. I think I'm meeting Valingo up there, Bunny X, Diamond Field, and maybe Starcading.
Just a little Starcaded.
I got to rub it in Jules' face every time I hang out with awesome people.
Look
just
at
like you do to me.
New York.
Just like you do to me. So that's just, it's just, I'm trying to keep up. Trying to keep up with you. But you're a man about town.
Well, after that, Ollie's moving on to London. And of course, he's got Parallels touring with him.
Yes.
Parallels after London with Ollie, they're going to continue on their merry way by themselves, Holly and gang. They're going to be going up to Brighton and what is it? Glasgow, I believe.
Glasgow.
So yeah, if you're living out that way and you want to see Parallels or Ollie, there you go.
Yeah, it's a vibe. What
else? October 14th, this weekend, Dusk Waves is going down, and that's AUW, which is something uranium. Oh, I keep forgetting.
Uranium.
Something.
Willpower.
No. It's also featuring Isle 9, who's got some new tracks out, by the way. Nat Gray.
Yes.
Yep, from the Aztec Records. Flash Cassette and DJ sets from Synthwave 83, aka Dawn and Robertus.
Very good.
And that goes down in London, October 14th.
I can grab this one here. October 19th and the 21st, we have the Midnight. They are just going everywhere these days. Mm-hmm. They are hitting Mexico. I think they're hitting Australia at one point, too.
Well, yeah, that's going to be next year, early next year, though.
World tour, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They're one of the few synthwave artists that can actually go down under.
Yeah, they have the infrastructure. So kudos to Tim and Tyler for putting that all together. That's not easy. The logistics involved is just insane. So kudos.
Ooh, this one. October 29th and 31st. Some kind of spooky themed stuff. Midnight Danger from Europe, Sweden, I believe, is doing a West Coast tour of the US. And he's going to be playing in San Francisco and Seattle, respectively, 29th and the 31st. He's going to be playing with Alex Lightspeed, the Neon Syndicate, and in Seattle he's going to be playing with Wolftron, and Karen Zoe Lee is going to be doing a DJ set.
Hey, Karen Zoe Lee, look at that. That's fantastic. Yep. Let's see here. October 29th and the 31st, the Helsinki Synth City. We have Sierra and Millennium Falk and Levinsky. They seem to hang out together a lot. Yeah, our Finn friends.
And yeah, I was able to see Sierra's doing like a world tour, so I was able to see her in Toronto about a month ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Let's see, coming up November 3rd, another one going down to Seattle. Karen's really lucky. Phaserland, Betamax, Michael Weber are going to be performing in Seattle with a DJ set from Karen Zoe Lee.
Wow, she's really just doing stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was supposed to do, poor Karen, she was supposed to do a DJ set at the end of Ollie Ride and Parallels in Seattle last week.
She was feeling under the weather.
Yeah, she came down and got sick.
It happens. It happens, all you people.
She'll be getting to share the stage with Betamax, Phaserland, and Michael Weber, so hey.
Yeah, there you go. Pick it back up. December 16th, we have Bold Street. We have Wolf Club.
Yeah,
we've heard of those guys.
In Liverpool.
Yeah, fantastic. And, of course, the Australian tour, as I mentioned earlier, with the Midnight, February 29th through March 2nd. 2024 in Australia. They are going down under. My man.
Unfortunately, they're not hitting West Australia, so they're going to hit like Melbourne, Sydney.
The normal places.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Adelaide, I don't know. But
that's fantastic. And how can people find out about more touring and event information?
I'd give you the URL, but it's just a lot easier to hit Google because we own
it. We own that entire vibe right there.
Type synthwave events or synthwave concerts into Google. The very first link that pops up is our little blog page on the nightride.fm website,
and there
where
it is.
You can find
the shows that you want to go to.
Oh, by the way, little reminder. I mentioned the Midnight Danger show. He's going to be in Portland as well. on the 30th, and it's going to be Midnight Danger and Starcourt, who was the guitarist for Knight Rider 87.
Nice. Very nice.
Thanks, Steven.
Very good. All right, so we are getting ready to move on into another track here. And also on the Live at Mr. Fusion, we're not going to go ahead and play that actual track from the album, although he does a wonderful track on that album. We have a new one from Bad Guys Get Dead, and this is really cool. I think this is kind of like a Halloween vibe. This is like our unofficial Halloween episode, I guess.
You know what? Right about now, it's usually the time where synthwave artists are dropping spooky songs.
Yeah,
I'm not
spooky
seeing
stuff.
too many yet, so hopefully in the next week they start flooding. Because one of my favorite times in synthwave is Halloween.
Yeah.
When Beckett's got a new single as usual coming up.
Yeah, so it's going to be...
We'll play that at some point.
Yeah, all right. But in the meantime here, this one is pretty spooky, man. It's pretty spooky. This is Bad Guys Get Dead with Lights in the Old Mausoleum right here on Night Ride FM.
All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the Marathi ghouls. Naval Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Barbara.
And that was Lights in the Old Mausoleum right there. Bad Guys Get Dead. Get dead.
Hey, you know what? We're not doing so bad on time. We got 2 more songs,
We are doing great.
and then it's back to the 24-hour, 7 days a week music.
24-hour synthwave in your ears. But this is amazing. This was a great show, and of course, love, much love goes out to all the damn vampires. Just a all-around awesome guy, and I think it's great. I love the project. I had no idea he was even in the other 2 bands. I think it's like legendary. So now I get to go back and listen to some old Korn.
Davey
Jam
Oberlin's
out.
like a nexus. in the music scene.
He is. It's amazing. But yeah, so what else do we got here, Jules? We still have a show? Anything
Yes,
left?
we do. You know what? Let's play another track.
All right. I think that's a good idea.
We will wrap it up. But you can bring this one, and this is one of the submissions, isn't it?
Yeah, so I want to tell you about how to submit. Jules, do you know how to submit to the show?
In fact, no, I do not. Why don't you tell me?
Well, let me tell you, anybody that would like to submit any songs to the show, you can always email me or email Jules or email the show.
Find us on socials.
But honestly, we just kind of get so many emails that it just gets overwhelming. We do have our own. I said our own. Like, I feel like I just switched accents or something. We have our own submit portal. And you can go to, it's literally like nr.fm/submit or nightride.fm/submit. And that's it. You get your chance to get your song on this show, Korn's show, the 80s guy,
Or
Night
even
Ride,
in the rotation, the radio rotation.
or the radio rotation, and it goes to all those wonderful places. Again, you can send an email, have it be marked as spam half the time, or you can just submit it. All the goods goes right into our portal, and we will play.
We got a nice spreadsheet.
Awesome stuff
with
like this.
Linked MP3s, your artist info.
Yeah,
That's
we got
nice.
everything, your socials and everything. It's just organized and wonderful. And every now and then we get a gem. In fact, we have 2 gems of artists that put their song into the portal. And I was blown away when I heard these last 2 tracks that we're going to play. So I'm just going to say I knew nothing of this band. And this is what I love about this genre. There's always something new to discover right around the corner. And I discovered this band. This band is called, I want to say Cadre Cola.
Yep.
And I think they are out of the UK. And this track is entitled Say It. So we're going to go ahead and give it a play. This is, once again, Say It by Cadre Cola right here on Night Ride FM.
Why don't you say it now? Hands on my body, I know you want me, so just say it now. Say it now. I know you're afraid, yeah, I know you're afraid, but I know you see me much more than a friend, more than a friend. Why now? Tell me, I gotta know. Why now? Why don't you say it? Why don't you say I wake 'cause I can't sleep. After all the secrets that she told me, all your words ink in my memory. Oh, I wake 'cause I can't sleep. Wide awake wishing you would hold me, and the silence cuts deep. Why now? Tell me, I gotta know. Why now? Why don't you say it? Why now? Tell me, I gotta know. Why now? Why don't you say it? 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 Why don't you say it?
And that was Cadre Cola. Cadre Cola. Is it cadre or cadre?
It depends if you want to be fancy and say cadre, or
Yeah.
if you want to be American and say cadre.
I want to be fancy. I want to be fancy like that, so I'm gonna say cadre cola. And is that a real cola? I don't even know. It looks like it's a real cola. I feel like it could be a real cola. I would like to try it if it was a real cola. I'm just saying. Are we done this show yet?
We are almost there.
We're all right. So we have a couple more things here. We're gonna talk about the fun stuff, I guess, right? The ways that you can give us money, because that's important.
Oh, yeah, I love that stuff.
I think it's great.
The ways you can give Night Ride.
How can we give money to Night Ride and show our support for this amazing 24/7 radio station?
It costs money to keep music streaming 24/7.
Yeah.
Into your pie hole or ear hole.
Yeah, your pie hole and your ear hole, all the holes.
Exactly.
We
Yeah,
fill all the holes.
Hey.
Now we're really done. They just disconnected.
It's coming to the end of this show when we start going off the rails.
For the love of God. All right, so you can go to patreon.com/NightRideFM, and if you would like to be a Patreon of Night Ride FM, we have a cool Discord. It's 24/7 synthwave. You get cool shows like this and KZL and Dread. Dread's amazing too. Have you ever tuned into the Dread show? Fridays, and it's just a vibe. I love it.
By the way, I believe if you're on Android, you can get the nightride.fm app, and you can get little notifications on your phone when shows go live.
That's the most important thing, because you got to know when the live shows are going to be, so you can tune in. Because sometimes you get surprised. You're going to have somebody doing a show just out of the blue. Although,
so like this guy Groot jumps on randomly at weird times, and he just starts spinning.
It's freaking weirdo playing some weird shit.
Vasto as well.
Yeah. So. Always a good time, always a good vibe. You can check us out at patreon.com/NightRideFM. And if you would like to support the State of Synth, that's us. That's us. Sometimes people get a little confused, although we do pump Night Ride FM, and it is a huge part of the State of Synth. We are different entities in a way where...
We are hosted by Night Ride
FM. We're kind of our own thing, Jules, too. We do our thing. We do our vibe. Night Ride FM is just a wonderful outlet that, of course, is a big part of how we get our music out to the masses. But this is us. The State of Synth is not ran by Night Ride FM. It's ran by me and you and, the
mainly
wonderful
you.
people that... No, stop it. I'm lazy. I come on and I talk and say a bunch of dumb stuff, and that's
folks,
it.
if you go to thestateofsynth.com, you can see Dennis's work.
That's where we're getting at. The top right-hand corner. In fact, I accidentally clicked on the website, and it's got a big button that says "Buy Us a Beer." If you click on that link, it will give you the opportunity to buy us a beer. But you know what? Honestly, this month, don't give money to Night Ride. Don't give money to us. Go buy the charity album. 100% of the proceeds are going to this wonderful charity that we really care about. It's about suicide prevention, and I know mental health has always been a thing for the State of Synth, and it's just a really cool thing.
By the way, a shout out to Patrick King, our favorite graphic artist. Wasn't it him who mentioned the Trevor Project, because he was doing some Etsy stuff or something like that?
Yes.
In support of them. Yeah.
He did a little fundraiser for the Trevor Project and kind of brought it to our attention. So it's a cause that Jules and I really do care about. And honestly, Night Ride FM, is not as much of a part of it as we are. So this is our thing.
This was all led by you. So hey.
And
by the way, folks, I want to remind everyone too, if you go to stateofsynth.com, thanks to Dennis, you can see our upcoming shows too. Such as we've got Sequenza next week, and then a week after that we're bringing back Mark Cooper and after,
Starletta.
And then
Starletta's my favorite.
After that,
just a little producer called Pilot, some guy you might not know of.
Never heard of him. No.
But you can always go to stateofsynth.com, and it's got everything you need: shows and throws and bones and
All that stuff.
All that stuff. Good stuff. And that's it. That's our show. I think we have one more track that we're going to go ahead and play because that's what we do. We play one track at the end to close up the show. So what do we even have here?
Another big thanks to Davey Oberlin, aka All the Damn Vampires.
Incredible.
Busy guy, well networked, amazing producer
Yeah.
and artist. So yeah, that was nice. Right, we are gonna play you out with the submission from Queensland, Australia artist Techlash, and this song is called "Sound the Alarm," featuring Cece. From all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a good night.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.